All right, we're going to record a quick video. And this is a multi uh, th- uh, reasoned thing, I guess. I can't remember the right words, but so it's going to be a game recap of my last Chess Dojo Round Robin Champions League, which I lost, so awesome. Um, but that kind of it led me down a bit of a rabbit hole. Um, kind of. This This game I lost kind of strategically and then tactically, but um, I lost this game and I've been analyzing it for a while, and I've analyzed it to death, and I was like, okay, cool, so that's good. Uh, and then I'm researching my next opponent just a little bit. I'm not trying to do too much, and I was like, oh, they kind of do the perk, and so I'm looking at one of my openings books, and it talks about this uh, English attack called the 150 attack or something like that. And I'll be danged if while reading this book, it's what my opponent did to me. So, in this video, we're going to look at what the 150 attack is because it's just like a thing you can kind of do against Fianchettoed when black Fianchettos. Um, and we'll also look at a Masters game, uh, just kind of look through a Masters game of like how to deal with said 150 attack. And I do think this is one of those interesting times where it's not necessarily opening study, but it is using your game to get into a position to then find in a Masters game to see how they dealt with it. And then learning, say, about the 150 attack. So my opening knowledge, right, got me into trouble. Very standard trouble, it seems. I don't understand why I've never heard about it before, but into some standard trouble. And now that I know about the trouble, I can maybe deal with it. Especially when fianchettoing my Black Bishop, which I do for the Accelerated Dragon. That's right. That's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to look at this. I think if it's the dragon, it's called the Yugoslav attack, but whatever. Okay, let's go through the game. D4, knight f6. Look, I know I said I was going to do d4, d5. I panicked. Okay, knight f6. I could go d5. I went c5. I panicked. Okay, d5, d6. The idea behind this is with like a pseudo Benko E situation. We're sealing up the center. We want to bring our heavies to this side and start pressuring. I can't go b5 just yet because it just loses a pawn, so we don't want to do that just yet. I want to fianchetto first, get my king safe. Bishop g7. All right, castles. And then here, this is what should tingle, right? Tingle in the back of your mind. If your opponent lines up like this and you have a fianchettoed boy, one of the main ways they're going to hit you is they're going to trade off your dark squared. They're going to try and trade off your dark squared bishop, bring your queen over here, push this pawn, and checkmate you on the h file. Okay, guess what happened in my game? So bishop d7. So here I'm already worse, right? If you check the engine, I'm already like a pawn down because I don't realize what's happening or what the plan is. They castle, knight a6. My ideas here are, again, I want to push this pawn and get it rolling with the end goal of opening the h file, and all my pressure would be coming down the h file. They start the plan, right? Knight c7, I'm too slow. And that's the issue, right? In this position, I know I'm too slow, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't, yeah, it's like, yeah, regardless, I don't really know how to fix it. There are ideas of, let's see, instead of going bishop d7, there are master games where they go instead knight b to d2. And that, or b6, 7, sorry. And that allows you to come up here and continue and just add more support for your king. Okay? So bishop b7 was not great, but my idea was to protect this square so I can get it pushed past all of this and get a tempo on the knight. All right, knight a6. I got to get my knight out. Okay, I don't necessarily want to take and just bring the queen in for free. Oops. All right, and we each start our attack. This is a very common way to attack. Oh my gosh. This takes is a terrible idea. I did not see this in the game, but you're getting checkmated. There it is. That's part of the reason you don't want to take with the knight. Good luck. I don't even think maybe coming back here can save it. Yeah, maybe you save part of it right here. How bad is it? Oh, hey, you're not doing too bad. What's the blunder? Really? I wonder if it's because of this knight. This doesn't quite work because of the knight. Bishop takes g7. King takes g7. Haha! Okay, anyway, let's not blunder stuff on camera. I think it's this knight here. Well, let's see. If I took there, here, g takes e5, queen g5, knight e8. So this knight being here is the only reason this doesn't work. Okay. So h4. Anyway, turn the engine off. Again, I don't necessarily know too much about the attack that's going on, but at this point, I don't feel like I can stop it. And so I have to get that tempo in. Now, I think bishop takes g7. Yeah, this tempo doesn't super matter. So I worked really hard to get it, but if you take here and here, you're kind of already in. And then you can just come back. And this is kind of how the game went. Right now, this knight can't move at all. So we go a5, kind of solidifying ourselves, and then another issue is a4. Again, I don't know how to deal with this attack over here. It's already raging, and I can only think, maybe I can push my pawn? I don't know. H takes g6, f takes g6, bishop takes g7, kings takes g7, queen takes h6. So now we do have issues, and I spent way too much time here because I was like, I'm thinking I'm just checkmated. And g8 is the best move. I just took forever because I wanted to check, King f7, does that work? No, because if we come here, I have to come back. Maybe I can attack the queen. Oh, no. And I'm here, and all the pieces are coming in. There's no real great way to block it except for my rook. Oh, congratulations. My knight is pinned. Where's anything going? Right, I am super stuck. I'm super stuck. Okay, so I saw that, and then I'm trying to see, is there a difference between these two? I don't think so. But I want g8 to... because I wanted to be kind of closer to my pieces. Okay, knight h3. Yep, looking to bring the knight in for support. Rook f7. This I thought was pretty... a pretty good defensive move. I was actually pretty proud that I found this. I have to keep... This h-pawn is under crazy amounts of pressure. And if they come in, right, and I'm thinking if they come in here, I'm going to come here, right? They want to take, sure, I'm still defending everything. Should be perfectly fine. This would be kind of nasty. But at this point, I feel like we can trade off queens, and I'll do my best with the piece up. Or with the out, down the exchange. So knight b5. Again, I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting for this idea here. I don't want to come up here and trade this off for nothing. Little did I know how good it was going to become. But I didn't want to trade that off for nothing. So I go ahead and say, all right, I can reroute my knight, maybe take this, maybe come here with a check and get in here and blunder my piece, or come in here and just start trying to pressure some stuff. And then they hit me with e5, breaking open, and then they're allowed this pawn push. Pawn is taking my knight, or looking at my rook. And then here, again, I'm at about a minute. And that's kind of an issue now, right? I can make really nice and inventive defensive moves. I looked at this idea. Let's see. Takes. Maybe they come back. And I couldn't figure out what I would do next. They could come back here and double attack my bishop. Yep, not sure. And then maybe I can come here. I don't want to do that. Maybe I can come like here or whatever, right? All of this is like under a minute. I'm playing bullet. My opponent is now playing rapid chess. They're at 15-10. I'm at under a minute. They bring in. I say, okay, let's trade the queens. They take knight takes e6. Now, this is another boneheaded moment for me because, again, I'm trying to figure it out, right? Here. Oh, don't want to do that because it's a skewer. Okay. We're not doing that one because we don't want to fall into the skewer. What do we want to do? We want to we want to go ahead and trade the queens to relieve some pressure on the position and then step out. So now wherever the knight moves, I can move my rook. Well, except the knight moves to a good square. He's attacking my rook, or my bishop. And I didn't see this response. This is really annoying. And anywhere, my opponent's just going to win a piece, right? You could say, oh, you can come here and protect the rook. But now d6, sure, maybe. What is it? Here. Right? And if they take, you're here. If I take with the king, you're kind of still in some trouble. I can't exactly see what it is. Let's see. There was a reason I didn't like this. Anyway. But they have plenty of time to figure it out. And wherever I move it, it just becomes, if I take, obviously that's terrible because that just loses it. Maybe I could take this way, but I'm looking at, they're going to, what is this? Anyway, I give up the rook thinking that I can come back. I can fork them. I can't because of g5. They push my knight away. I say, oh my gosh, I just have to relieve my position. They take here, and maybe this is okay until they come here. And then it's like, oh, what's going on here, man? So we're kind of crushed off the board. They come back attacking my rook. They're saying, I'm going to take this pawn for free. I have to put my rook in the most passive position ever. And now this pawn is pinned, so I can't actually do anything with it. I come back trying to protect this pawn. They are able to push the pawn. It was not free. maybe something like this, but then they're going to take. And I can't take here. I can't take here. Not great. Not great at all. So bishop b8, they deflect the defender. All right, then they take. I come up, and I'm just, let's go after loose pawn. Let's try and generate some counterplay. Do a check. The check's not great. Try and get my knight on a better square. They trade off and then hit me with another skewer. I think actually, yeah, something like this. Takes, and then here I am absolutely still losing because I'm a full piece down. Yeah, so they skewer, get the tactic in, and then here I resign. I can't take this. It's like, push this pawn. Push this pawn, get rid of my last piece, and then it is me and 3 pawns versus 2 pieces and a pawn. So just the most losing you can be. That wasn't fun. And outside of like some tactical stuff near the end where I'm playing on increment, I don't feel like I did necessarily anything super duper wrong other than having an attack that was slower. So that leads me to the next point where I'm reading my opening book talking about the perk, and in it they talk about this position, right? And you're going to do in this position exactly what my opponent did. You're going to trade off your dark squared bishop, get your queen in, and just checkmate you on the open file. And so that's very frustrating, and it's a very strong attack. I want to look at how to defend that situation. If you look at this and look at this, okay, let's go through them. The exact same situation. And this is a 1952 going up against a 2176. Way better than me, right? So this is a reasonable amount, right? And I'm pretty sure this is like over the board, I think. Yeah, this is, I believe, over the board. So let's look at it, okay, in this position. Starting from here, I believe it starts as a perk or a modern defense, g6, bishop g7. And this shows that, like, look, I mean, e4. You can hit this position wherever you want. Boom. You're in the position to start the attack. Okay, they decide to go a6, and they don't care, right? They're starting their attack. They're not fully developing, and this is the part that I struggle with, is this is like against opening principles, kind of, right? That you see like develop, and maybe it's because of them knowing White's plans. Sure, b5, taking space, b4, and so like part of the difference too is let's see, f3, solidifying, castles. And I wonder if, I think there's just like only so fast you can do it, right? Even if you started here, you're going to struggle. Here, queen e2, attack has started. Here, you get the thing, right? Here, takes. And you get to take because your threat, they're threatening your rook, sure. You're threatening the queen. So your attack is faster. Now, what are we going to do with that? I don't know. Anyway, queen d2, a6. Bishop h6. Our attack is started. h4. b4. We get our tempo. Knight c to e2, and then here's the big one. Boom, knight b to d7. That's kind of the critical move, right? Bringing the knight over. They do have an attack. You have to weather it first, is my understanding here. Okay, h5. Now they're in the position that they want. They want to take, they want to take, they want to come here, they want to bring their queen over, and they want to start putting pressure here. Knight e5. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what this does. It does stop a lot of like the counterplay. You can't come here because you're now opening this idea, right? I don't think the attack works just yet either. The attack doesn't work just yet either. Why not? Let's look, right? So you come in here, 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 here. Check. You're back. And then you need too much time for your attack. I think that's it. Your attack's just a little slow. Now, how would we go from this position? I'm not completely sure. Maybe something like this, right? Kicking the queen out. Maybe. Maybe coming this way. There's no way you sack here. Takes. No. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure you just take here. Or at least there was a game in which somebody did. It's like your light squared bishop's not doing anything. And so you just take one of the attacking pieces. Okay, let's look. Yeah, you're fine here. You're fine here. I mean, there is definitely, you have to figure out how to play it. It's not easy. There are some losing moves, but now you actually have you have moves to play, not only moves. Okay, so knight g3, queen a5. We're threatening some counterplay here. Bishop takes, king takes, f4, driving away this knight. Knight gets on a nice... It's not an outpost because it's not protected by a pawn, but how are you going to get rid of this knight? I mean, come this way? I don't know. Maybe. But it's protected by a knight. So it's fine. And a bishy. Okay, knight f3, bishop d7. Just connecting our rooks, developing. So now we're fully developed. Okay, bishop c4, we saw that in our game. Idea maybe to do a pawn push. Trading off that bishop. Okay, that's something I didn't want to do. Trades, pawn takes, and now we have a lot of pressure on this file. You're not castling this way, chief. You also have the ability now to trade queens, if you so wish. So pawn takes. And then knight here. This is such a sneaky move. There. That's the goal. Right? And if you take the knight, it's pinned, one. So it's like takes, and then you got to figure it out. You're also threatening this one. Look at this knight. Holy crap, right? If you take the queen, you're getting forked somehow, right? Maybe you come this way. Sure. You'd have to. You have to move the queen. Or you have to move the king, right? You can't take. So maybe here, let's say here, and then you got to come here to protect this one. Well, do you do it anyway? I don't think so. I don't really know what I would do after this. I mean, heck, maybe come back and say my pawns are better. My position looks pretty good. Check here. Here maybe? Takes. There's ideas somewhere here. This would be interesting to play. Anyway, king f2. So they see it, right? They see it, takes, bam. Knight takes back, okay. And now we're harassing this, smoking this out. So my question here, by the way, was what if we come here? Well, then we get out. And then how do you protect this pawn, right? You push? Or you just... maybe. Okay, anyway, knight c2, smoking the rook out of the corner. Okay, rook comes over, rook h1. We take a pawn. They come back to protect their pawn. Look at this wildness. Knight a3, pawn takes a3, rook takes d2 check, and it's just rook a8. e5, knight takes d5, jeez Louise. And then here it's just the tactics that people find, right? And yeah, if you sit at it long enough, you're like, okay, yeah, they attacked this, but they also undefended this pawn, so this is a free pawn. This pawn is also looking pretty juicy. Attack a free pawn, they take a pawn, f takes g6, and now they're all up on here, right? We also were kind of in this position. Okay, they take another pawn, we take back a pawn, they push. f5. Rook d3 check. Okay, king f2. We take a pawn. We now have a protected passed pawn. All right, they take. I think the idea here, if I am not mistaken, well, one, they get the rook out with check. Okay, check. And they take a rook. Their pawn up, take the rook. And then now, right, now that this pawn, that's another part, right? If you can get out, they open to the file. Now this is no longer pinned. They come back. Oh, let's just go ahead and simplify even more. And now they're up 2 pawns. Okay, knight e4, pin the knight. And we don't want to take the knight, right? We don't want to take it. There's no reason for that. Check. 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 Protected. The entire time. All those checks. Move the king away from the passed pawns. And then now we're good. Oh, this check could be incoming. What do we do? Check. You wanna push it that hard? Okay. Attacking the knight. Push the pawn. And you can't take it. Tackies. It's the perfect time to push that pawn. So push the pawn. Okay. Knight b5. Push the pawn. Check. Can't come this way. You have to go up or back. But look at this. Bam. Check again. Now we're attacking the knight again. Because I believe, 2 pawns on the 6th or the 7th. The 6th or the 3rd beat a rook. And so, here, I mean, you could just take it, right? Takes back here or here. Maybe here, here. I mean, you just can't really catch them. And I mean, we're looking at here. So putting it on the board, right? Let's go with here. Takes, here. Here, here. How do you stop them? Yeah, no. Or you could here. You can't go after this one either, right? This knight actually protects it. So maybe you push in. Okay. Here maybe? But I've already won. So anyway, I'd take this. Knight b3. They get rid of it. They're blockading the pawns. That's fine. Rerouting the knight. Saying, do you want to trade? Yeah, I'll trade. I've got 2 passed pawns. Okay. Protecting. And then now, this is completely winning because you have to come catch this one. And while you're catching that one, I'm going to come get this one. And you can't catch the pawn. And my king's already in front of the pawn. So, I mean, like, what? Come here. Whoops. Come here. Here. You can't get to, like, where a stalemate would happen. So this is kind of how you would approach defending against this kind of attack. And I thought that was really interesting. And I really enjoyed going through this game, right? And like seeing like, oh, okay, yeah, well, why did you do that? And to sit and look at it and be like, okay, it's just having another piece and the attack no longer really works if you keep trying it. Well, now we're starting issues and pinning stuff and doing that. And would I play this well? No, I'm not a 1952. That plays a lot of the perk. Because I imagine if you play the perk, you're going to run into this attack soon. So maybe study this game from that, like, perspective. And say, okay, here... Because I don't think any of this is particularly bad, right? From White's perspective. Knight C to E2, yeah. Knight B to D7, okay. Bishop takes G7. And, like, you can go ahead and get, you know, some of the stuff started. Here, because it's still the idea, right? And now we go G4. And this is actually even more similar to how my game was, right? Having this situation. Let's look. Hold on, because I didn't even look. Yeah, see? It's not the same, but it's incredibly similar. At least the pawn structure. Oh, sorry, let's go. And then here, I guess you have to stop H5, because that's a threat. It's just really fun to get into this kind of stuff where you like go down the lines a little bit. And then, I don't know, finding the name of the attack that beat you just in a book randomly while looking at it. And if I'm being honest, this is a good idea, right? A good setup, if you will, with a plan. Now, what happens when the plan goes awry? I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to it. But it is a solid, interesting plan. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the game, and then kind of the rabbit hole we went down about how to use a game you played to find just like an interesting variation or ideas to further your chess understanding. Because, I mean, with this video, we now know kind of one of many ideas about how to deal with the Fianchettoed Black Bishop, which, honestly, ever since I was 700 ELO, I've always struggled, where I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do here? And I've struggled with it. And now it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this situation, and if it doesn't work, then we'll reevaluate. But first, let's see if we can hit him with this attack. No? Okay, well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun kind of going down this rabbit hole, and this is the kind of stuff that I think propels learning more, when you can really enjoy diving deep into it. We did use the engine a bit, but just to confirm, right? I think try and make your own moves. Say, oh, well, why does this not work? And then, prove yourself wrong, because a lot of times it will work. It'll be fine, just not crushing, and so it's the best of many options. All right, talk to you later. Bye.